Okay.
I escaped to seek my vengeance.
You got the look down. I've seen worse. Way worse.
Are we gonna have a science off?
No.
If
I
he's
couldn't.
up for it, but
I couldn't
it's up to
compete
him.
with that guy. So I know I'm probably a little early, but screw it. Yeah, who cares? I mean, although I do apologize in advance because the schedule that's printed is all sorts of fucked up. Like, I was overlapping twice, so they expected, like, bilocating, I don't know, like, I had autographs, yeah.
Was it like when I was there, like it was orange, but did you tell me like do autographs and pictures at the same time?
Yeah, that's like twice. So, and then I was given like 4 different schedules. Like, I was given a revised schedule, and then the revised schedule was wrong. Like, people were coming up like, aren't you for photos? I was like, yeah, in an hour. No, you're right now. And then another person would come up and they'd be like, no, it's like 2 hours from now at like 10. Just tell me when to go. I don't care, but it's the people who are like going to show up at the autographs and they're like, Spoony's gone. He's flown back. You know.
Plan is working.
No, I'm still here tomorrow, but anyway, I was.
Kyle's tomorrow, actually.
What's it?
Yeah, Kyle's tomorrow. According to the
Yes, I have a panel. That's another one I'm not sure about because I need a projector. I have like 3 ideas, and 2 of them require a projector. Yeah. Oh, I need to see. Hang on. I need to see how it hooks up because. Okay, good. Good. Because it had one of these, like my laptop. Because they don't all do that. Like one of them has an. Oh, there is an HDMI. Okay, yeah. Oh, it has all 3. This is a good projector. No, it has USB, HDMI, and the mount.
Just be sure to sign it back in when you're done.
Yeah. So they didn't give me any specifics. They're like, oh, you could review anime, or I was like, I don't really do anime. I did that one Tekken movie that one time.
There's 2 power rooms. You are in this room tomorrow, I think. Going to this.
Yeah, I think yes. No, I know. I'm in the when I do the improv with the 404s. I'm in like the main room in here. Although I'm kind of concerned about this one because this is supposed to be 2 different rooms, and the only thing separating me from them is that curtain.
Yeah, it's really hard to compete. We've been
Which- Yeah, but
Is that like small?
yeah, I think I'm in here tomorrow. But yeah, that curtain does not block sound. You'd think, but no. But yeah, what I had planned, hoping I had a projector, was I was going to do a live riff of 2 things. So the first was going to be, well, the first is going to be a Hallmark safety training video. I'm not even kidding. Hey, the risk for paper cuts in a Hallmark is devastating, okay? My friend was killed when a card was thrown across the room carelessly and it cut his fucking jugular. No, there's a training film. And the best part about this one is there's a theme to it. And the theme, because they always try to spice it up so you don't fall asleep during it. So the theme is the Dukes of Hazzard. Again, not even kidding. So you gotta see that shit, right? The second one, now you remember that I have gone to war against Final Fantasy on numerous occasions.
Oh,
No, not 13. Did you know there was an anime? Episode 1. We're gonna do a live riffing of that, so it's gonna be awesome. Huh?
24. Yeah. I have that actually.
you and us, or you and...
No. The 404 improv.
Oh.
That's the one I have. I don't know. It's either before or after. Oh, that's obvious. Before or after. That's redundant. Okay. Anyway, I don't know when the time is, so I was told to follow the program. Good luck with that. And the thing is, I can't tell you when it is if it's different. So until you hear otherwise, follow the program. Good luck. Anyway, so as far as I know, this is just a Q&A, so I have no idea how to pick people fairly. So I'll just point to people who amuse me. Okay, you were first. Yeah, what's up?
Star Control.
You gotta shout. Because
Star Control, was that every other game you reviewed is basically a huge part of my process? It's been like one of the very crazy exceptions. Have you ever played Star Control? Really bad.
I have sort of. I think I downloaded from Good Old Games. You know what that is? Okay. I think I downloaded it and I played it for like 2 hours, and it was really good, but that's as far as I got. You know me, I got this whole stack of games I want to play but haven't gotten to. I still haven't finished Skyrim. Oh, I thought somebody was yelling at me. There's this game I got into called Yakuza 4.
Oh, yes.
Which, I'm learning all sorts of things about Japan I had never known before. Apparently you can't go more than one block to avoid getting jumped by Yakuza. If you don't know this, you get jumped all the friggin' time. You can't go anywhere, because like, there'll be a guy who goes like, "Hey, I don't like your hair, get him!" No, I'm serious. This guy will stop you and he's like, "Your jacket is gay. Boys, get him!" That actually happens. The guy grabs you by the tie, he's like, "Your tie sucks." And then they start throwing it, okay. And they get one guy like corners you and he's like, "You screwed my girlfriend, I just know you did. Get him!" And then like, so it's like every block this happens. So that's the biggest flaw of it. The second weirdest thing was, I didn't know about this, but they called them, I forgot, hostess clubs. I had no idea these existed. But okay, if you don't know, here's what they are. There's also host clubs.
Mic check.
It works. Okay, what a hostess club is, you go there, dudes go there, or I guess women can, whatever. And there's a bunch of really hot girls there. They don't touch you in any way. They don't go home with you in any way. There's no sex involved in any way. You go there, and you talk to them. And that's it, you pay them. And that's it. You go home. So it's like, going there to have all the downsides of having a girlfriend. Like, you have to talk to them and they take all your money and then you get nothing out of it.
They get blue balls for an hour.
Yeah! So I was like, what's the upside? Well, apparently, like, there's not a lot of human contact when it comes to Japan, so, okay. But yeah, there's like a really weird obsession in Yakuza 4 with like managing a hostess club, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Yeah, so that's the weird thing. What's another? Oh, Persona 4 is coming out on PSP, which is my favorite RPG. Yeah. Boo? Fuck you, man. If this curtain wasn't here, I'm gonna come back and kick your ass. This guy. I love Persona 4. Persona 3 kicked my ass. That one's way harder. You ever see that one? No, it is. It's like, and what's worse is there's a time limit, and you've got to grind for levels like crazy. It's like, if you never heard of Persona, it's like Pokemon, but instead of Pokemans, it's demons. No, it's like there's actually in Persona, no, it's not Persona, it's called Shin Megami Tensei. If you ever played Nocturne, there's actually some demons, like, you summon Satan. And then there's one called, I think it's called Almighty or something like that, where you summon God. He's not that good. No, he's not. His powers are kind of lame, actually, anyway. Yeah, what? I can't even see what it is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a funny story about this. I actually got it. It was still in the box, original package.
Wow, vintage.
Recently. And I've played it once and it sucked.
You know, honestly, after all the games I've played, it's not that bad. The worst part of it is, like, your character is so huge. He's this big fucking head. And you get hit so easily. The final boss apparently is like insultingly easy. I never got that far, but it's like this big unmoving star child, and all you got to do is like get really close to it and shoot, and it does nothing. Okay. Oh, I've seen it. I was there. Oren.
I'm two things.
Sure.
One is when you did your Final Fantasy 10-2
10-2.
final and got owned by Yuna, and
Yeah.
then there was supposed to be second part killing Yuna.
Yeah, that unit was hot.
And basically you got past Final Fantasy 13. Are you actually going to get Final Fantasy 13?
Yep, that's next.
Is that the one of the important?
Yes.
Well,
Yes. I stuck up for Final Fantasy 12.
it's a terrible game.
Nobody liked that but me.
Second,
Even Final Fantasy fans were like, oh Christ. Who the fuck is Vaughn? Fuck that guy.
the second is the celebrity has to promote might make it easier.
Sure. Oh, that's a good idea. Look how smart you are. No, that's a good idea. Yeah, come up to the mic, rock the mic. Yeah. Yeah. If you got questions, why don't you line up? And that's a good idea. Of course, I just favored the people close to me. Life isn't fair. Well, what else? Oh, yeah, Vaughn. Okay, here's the secret to enjoying 12 a whole hell of a lot more. Realize from the beginning that game has nothing to do with Vaughn. It doesn't.
Who do you play?
Well, I know he's who you play, but like, he is like a non-entity in his own game.
Vaughn and Penelope.
Vaughn and Penelope have nothing.
Yeah, literally, they're just inserted.
They're the R2-3PO of the game.
Yeah. So like, I played the whole game with them because I was like, he must be the chosen one. Like no, he's like Luke Skywalker. At some point, he's gonna become. No, he doesn't. He's not gonna. He never turns into anything. And so all you got to do is realize that the heroes of that game are Ash and Balthier, because the whole game's about them. There's Balthier being the Sky Pirate. He's Han Solo, and then you've got Ash who's trying to get her kingdom back. That's the game. So the first thing you do when you're playing that game is you remove Vaughn from the party, because you can do that. Because like no, the guy running around is Vaughn, but when you start a fight, like I do Balthier, the bunny chick, and then Ash, beautiful. Although the one thing I had about that game was the license system was weird.
Oh God.
Now it wasn't like oh god bad, but it was like it's never clear what you're supposed to do, because like Balthier's got these guns, and you're like, he must be the best at guns, but you can also master staffs, axes, bows, and I'm like, well, what's better? Here's the secret to that. They're all the same. It doesn't matter what you pick, because a staff does the same thing as a sword. They're all because you can buy any one of them, and you're like, which one's better? They're not. They all do the same damage. They all are they're out the same speed. So you could have Balthier using a quarterstaff. It doesn't matter, you know. So that was always what I found weird, was there's no advantage to using any one of them. Anyway, what's up?
Hey, good to talk to you, Noah.
Hey.
Two questions. One, what would you say are your biggest influences when it comes to comedy? And
Say the
writing?
last part.
Sorry, your biggest influences when it comes to comedy and writing?
That's easy. Mystery Science Theater was actually, that's when I started. I was going to do a Mystery Science Theater like fan vid, where like that's where the robot came from. The robot that sits there and does nothing that was the robot I built to be the robot in the show, and that didn't work out because I had the robots for it, but I had no friends for it. Like the few people I knew, I was like, hey, you wanna come sit in my garage and we can watch really shitty movies? And like we can make fun of them. And they're like, we're watching what? And I'm like, oh, we're gonna watch like, I can't even think what I said. I was like, Nanos. We're gonna watch Nanos. Like, and not only that, we're gonna watch it like 4 times. And they're like, fuck you. I was like, oh. So like the Mystery Science Theater didn't work out, but I bought this really expensive camera. It was like $400, which was a lot for me. It's a lot for anybody, really. But I had this camera and nothing to do with it. So I was like, yeah, a lot of people accuse me of ripping off the angry Nintendo nerd. I didn't. I was ripping off someone else entirely, who was much less known. I didn't even know the nerd existed until like halfway through editing that movie, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta reshoot the intro to like make it clear I wasn't ripping him off. Like you would have believed that. No, I was ripping off other people, but yeah, Mystery Science Theater probably my biggest influence. I would say Monty Python, but that's not really true. I make a lot of references to it. I always really liked the really off-the-wall comedy by the Zuckers, like Airplane. Although the Zuckers suck now. No, they did like, what was it, an American comedy or something. It sucked. They've become like super, hyper, ultra conservative. I don't know, or whatever. Anyway, I hope that was good enough.
And sorry, my second question, just really quick. Do you still hold the title of Lord of Tekken?
Of course I hold the Lord of Tekken. I defend that shit 24/7.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I have been fighting on Tekken. I've had some free time. I decided to take 2 days off after doing Ultima 9. I was like, I'm gonna play Tekken because I haven't played Tekken in months. So I started playing it again, and so like for some reason I was getting my ass kicked by Roger. You know who Roger is? He's the kangaroo with the boxing gloves on. I don't get it. Like, I'm killing everybody, but for some reason fucking Roger has my number. Well, I'll tell you why. Do you know what, I'm probably mispronouncing it. You know what Okemi is? Yeah. It's ground game. Like, if you knock somebody down, you can punish them on the ground. Roger has the most fierce butt-fuck Okemi in the world. And you wouldn't think that because he's got the boxing gloves on. No, when you're down, he just savages you. It's gross. But, like, yeah, that's for some reason. But I was actually owning fools on online Tekken for the last 2 days. Except for Roger. Like, god damn. Anyway.
Hi, Spoony.
Hey.
And sign in. More counter monkey.
Yeah, you know what the thing is? I literally have like 20 of them planned, but I'm very one-track minded, so I was like, I gotta finish Ultima, I gotta do this. So like, I couldn't focus on it, so like, I really want to do, in fact I'll do at least one before I get there, but yeah, I got a ton of stories.
But the question actually is, unlimited money, unlimited funds. Make your own RPG, whether it be board or video game. I can see this is going to be a long answer. I'm going to sit down.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I know there's certain games I would bring back. Although I used to be a really hardcore PC gamer, and really there's not a lot of, PC gaming has kind of gone the way of just World of Warcraft, and that's kind of all anyone does on a computer anymore. I mean, MMOs in general, but there's really not a whole lot of, StarCraft. That's the only thing people go to computers for anymore. But back in the day, there was this huge rift between console gamers and PC gamers. And a lot of you kids don't remember that. I'm old. No, they're there was PC gamers who were like, PCs are way more high-tech, our games are so much better. And console gamers were like, yeah, but we have to upgrade our computers and spend hundreds of dollars doing that, where a console, you put a game in, there you go. So I was a big PC gamer guy, so I was playing games like Syndicate, Ultima. You like Syndicate, right?
XCOM.
Then they made the fucking new console version of that, which sucked my balls. But yeah, if I were to bring back any series, it would be the Wing Commander series. If you remember those were, somebody asked me to do a Wing Commander retrospective, and I won't do it because I actually love the Wing Commander series. I've always said there's a very few full motion video games that were successful, like Phantasmagoria. Those were not successful. But the one that worked, or the two that worked, were Wing Commander 3 and 4. Because they shot those like a sci-fi movie. In fact, the hero of that was Mark Hamill. Didn't even know that shit, did you? And there was a really star-studded cast. Malcolm McDowell was in that. John Rhys Davies was in that. A lot of really high caliber stars, and they filmed it like a sci-fi movie, and it was really, really good. And then they based a really kick-ass space shooter around it. So, yeah, I'd bring that back. There's a couple of unlimited money. I'd do Ultima 9 right. I don't know how I'd do that, but yeah. I'd drag Richard Garriott in chains before me. Fix this. Now, speaking of a short tangent. I emailed Richard Garriott on several occasions because I wanted to get him involved in some way. Because, despite everything, I'm a big fan, except for 9. But I was like, I wanted him to do this thing where he would just show up. I was like, I want to get you involved, something. I would fly you in, even if it was just you coming in and just beating me with a pipe. We can do that. Like, I can work around you, man. Like, and so he never answered. Although, I wanted to do the same thing with Red Brown. And I got an answer. But it wasn't from Red. I got it from his agent. And he's like, Mr. Brown is not interested in participating in any project you may have. I was like, you seen it? No. I don't know if you've seen it. But he's like, and if you contact us again, we will report you, period. That's the exact, that was a quotation. He's like, I was like, report me to who? I didn't email him that because he would have reported me. But I was like, the internet police? I wanted to ask, but he would have reported me. Anyway, so.
Yeah, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Has there ever been a game or a movie that you're not sure if it's good or if it's bad? Like you keep playing it or you keep watching it and you're just wondering what it is.
There are, and I can't think of them offhand. Which one? No, actually the second one I really like, the live action one. I like that movie. I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, it's silly, but Tekken is silly. There's a boxing fucking kangaroo. Now that wasn't in the new Tekken movie, that was in the anime movie. But there was also cloaking dinosaurs in that flick. I don't know where that came from. Movies that I'm not sure if I liked or disliked. I know one that's, a lot of people say Scott Pilgrim. I really liked it, now I'm kind of on the fence. That one I've kind of backed down on, although the answer is yes, I just can't think of them. So, inspiration will strike me and I'll answer you. Okay, what's the second question?
And the second question is, you might have been asked this before, but I don't know how I can find it, but what's the weirdest game you've ever played?
Weirdest.
Samurai Zombie Nation.
No. You're not the first, but I don't know what I said the first time. I know a lot of people are tempted to say Choaniki, but that's not it. It's the gayest game I ever played. Weirdest. The only thing that springs to mind, I know I've played weirder, is Phantasmagoria 2. Because that was the only game I've seen where you find a head in a water jug. Which is hard to do. It's honestly kind of weird because this was back in the day where games had virtually no sexual content. Really, like none. And in the first Phantasmagoria, you saw boobs. You saw rape. There's a scene where the bed rapes her. Figure that one out. And in the second one, there's actually, there's frontal nudity in that one, and there's actual, not actual, but there's a sex scene in that. And this was back in the day when, the whole thing against violence in video games was really kicked into a fervor. And I was like, shit, there's a lot of, adult stuff in Phantasmagoria 2 that even today you really can't. Remember Hot Coffee? You didn't even see anything in that. It was just like that's all you saw. And they're like, oh my God, that's gonna corrupt the youth. So you still can't get away with that. Although, God of War, man. There's so many titties in that game. You screw, what is it, Persephone? You bang the shit. You rail that shit.
While her 2 lesbian handmaids watch.
Yeah. What's other, that's another one I'll come back to. You got good questions, I'm sorry. Weird game. Thank you. Actually, I'm trying to think of an RPG that was weird. I know I've done them. Benzai would have a better answer. I know one. I do know one. It's a dating sim that is weird, but I like it. It's Katawa Shoujo. And again, I probably mispronounced the crap out of that. If you don't know, it's a dating sim, and again, if you know what that is, it's like you're a guy who goes to a place and it's nothing but hot chicks, and you pick one out, and the objective is ostensibly to bone them. It sounds shallow. It is. But Katawa Shoujo is actually one of the best written ones I've ever seen. Okay, here's what it is. You're a student with a heart condition. So, why is that funny? Because I identify with it? No. You're a student with a really bad heart condition, and they send you to a school for disabled students. And all of the really hot chicks in this school who are somewhat interested in you have some kind of disability. For instance, there's a blind chick, there's a deaf chick, there is a girl with no arms, there is a girl with no legs. And you can date any one of them. So the first one I went after was the girl with no legs. Well, actually, I actually did not target her. The game actually kind of picks for you depending on the choices you made, and so I just happened to end up with she runs track. She has these little things on that let her run, like the guy in the Olympics, you know. So, I'm playing this game, like, Benzai begged me to play this game. He's like, dude, you gotta play this game, it's fucking hot. So I'm like, dude, I'm way more mature than that. Download. He's like, there's hardcore sex in this movie, man, or this game, man. And I'm like, child. But here's the thing. The game is actually not about like weird fetish porn. It's not like, oh, this chick has no legs. What if you'd like to screw a chick with no legs? No, it's not. It's like they have deformities, but the game is actually about like dealing with their past and their emotional issues because they've all overcome these. I'm like, it's really well written. Oh my god! And then there's okay. When the chick with no legs is like really into you, she's like, we should do it. The first time she's not really comfortable with it, so she like kind of dry grinds you, and you're like, okay, you know, like you're both hurt, okay. The second time, you walk to school together, and she's like, God, I wanna run track, but I gotta get this out. Like, you wanna. And so you're like, okay. You actually don't have a choice. You're like, okay. So you go to the equipment shed. I'm not going into too much detail. Well, I have to. So you get there, and you're like, your character goes like, oh shit, I don't have a rubber. And she's like, you don't have a condom? Man, what are we gonna do? And then this is her idea. She goes, I know what we can do. Can you guess what she wants to do? She gives it up in the ass. And I'm like, this is usually the guys, I don't know why that, I've never been, okay. But like, she's like, this is her idea. And your character's like, okay. So there's like a scene that, I'm like, okay. Again, not my kink. Seriously, not. No, seriously, I don't lie about these kind of, like, if people ask me, I'm like, no, I don't have that many kinks. I'm kind of vanilla that way. I don't get enough of the normal kind of stuff to really, I don't, like, but any volunteers, by the way? Yeah. Yeah. I'm staying at the Marriott. Anyway, I was like, okay, some guys are into that, and like eventually they kind of, because girls don't like that usually, but like they have to talk her into. This was her idea, and it was the first time. Okay, that's just sci-fi right there. Anyway, that's actually the most screwed. I actually chose the most screwed up one because all the other girls just kind of like it. Normal, you know, like, or just, okay, not, I'm digging a hole here. But the thing is, the sex is really not the target of this game, and the disabilities are not like the fetish of the game. It's a story with sex in it, you know, like, so it's weird because of the anal sex. But okay. Actually, what's funny about that scene is it's not very good. Like, the sex is not very good, and it even says that, like, you're really uncomfortable, and she's really uncomfortable, and then when it's over, you're just kind of weird about it, and she's like, wait, let's not do this again, and you're like, yeah. So, like, I'm like, you know, in a weird kind of story way, that makes sense. Like, you kind of experimented, it wasn't very good, and so we're moving on now, you know. Speaking of moving on, That was a weird tangent for a weird game. See how? Are there any kids in the audience, by the way? Look into this pen. Don't tell your mother you've been here. He is so gonna download this game now. Which one?
I played everyone.
Too much info. They just heard that. Okay.
So the dating sim thing kind of makes me ask a question. Did you know there's a dating sim where you date pigeons? I'm sure someone.
Okay. I have a question for you. Are you a human in this game?
Yes. You're a human female who goes to a pigeon. I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
Why? I'm assuming I want to find out.
Because birds need love too.
Oh, Daddy, give me your peck. Oh, yeah. Okay, that reminds me of a movie. If you're not familiar with Amanda Hagen, she just did a video. I can't remember what it's called, but it is, what? Chirpy? Oh, you've seen it. It's an animated, it's a porn movie. It's animated, and it's the love story between a Tweety bird and a horse. And the bird is the female.
That was my question. One bird and a horse.
And now the follow-up to your follow-up question, how does that work? That's about, they just do it. Like, and what's weird is like, the bird talks dirty. Like, I've heard dirty talk, but I ain't ever heard talk this dirty. She is nasty. I kind of liked it. Just, you can't even picture it, like, right? Anyway, that's, ew. Was that a question? I don't know.
No,
Was
it
I?
made me think of it. But my actual question is, so in this whole process of like making videos and dealing with people on the internet and coming to things like this, what is the worst part and what is the best part?
There isn't really a worst part. The part I wish I could phase out is the editing. And what's weird is I kind of like editing. You know, it's fun because actually a lot of funny stuff comes out of editing. Actually, you know, when I'm putting together a video, sometimes a funny thing will strike me. I can't think of any examples. Like, oh, I know. Like, there's a scene where you're beating on a monster and it won't die. Oh, the crab from Ultima 9. And I'm like, the Shaun of the Dead bit where you see them beating the zombie with a cricket bat, I was like, yeah, they do beat the shit out of them for a long time. So I was like, that was in editing where I was like, oh, I should put this in here. And so sometimes lines, I'll go re-record a line or add a line to do that. And so I enjoy editing, but the thing is it just takes so friggin' long. And the worst part is they're like, why do your videos take so long to shoot? And there are people often ask me like, how do I break into the business? What should I review? And I was like, whatever you do, don't do RPGs. That's like half my stuff is RPGs. So I was like, do as I do, or do as I say, not as I do. The reason you don't do RPGs is because RPGs go anywhere from like 40 to 80 hours long. Persona 3 will take you 120 hours to beat. I'm not even joking. So the problem is, when you've got 60 hours of footage, you have to go through 60 hours of footage. So here's the thing, you gotta play a 60-hour game, which takes like a week if you do that full time. Then you have to take notes. You have to watch it again to take notes because you can't edit your way through 60 hours of footage because like you're looking for a 2-second bit in that time. So if you're looking for a specific time you got killed or you're looking for a specific line of dialogue but you don't really know where it is, like you can narrow it down to maybe like a 10-hour span, So you've got to go through the entire time and like organize and take notes on time codes and stuff like that. Okay, so that's 80 hours working full time. And then you got to do editing, which takes about a week. So if I could turn that over to somebody, believe me, I would. That's actually been this thing I've been trying for a long time, is trying to get a full-time professional editor. One, it's expensive. Two, they don't live in Arizona. So that's it. It's not the worst part. The worst part, well, it's only a chore when it comes to playing the really, really bad games. Ultimate Night. It's really bad when you're playing a boring game, like Final Fantasy 13 is so boring. And the games I have a lot of rage for, Ultimate Night, it was one of those things where I had to make myself do it, and that's never a good thing. But I had to, so that was kind of the worst part, but ordinarily I enjoy the hell out of doing it. Like, I even like bad games. I like bad games, I like bad movies, otherwise I wouldn't do this. I always said the worst sin against a movie is not being bad, it's being boring. So, like, you know, I could watch a bad movie and go, ha, look how bad this is. This is really funny. I can make fun of this. A boring movie, you just fall asleep. The only thing I can point out is like, God, this is boring. Ha ha ha. You know, that's not funny. So, pigeons.
I wish I knew.
I was gonna say it's better that you're the woman, but no. No. You can't beat that, dude.
I can't. Anyways, the first question is, was there ever a time or a certain game or movie where you had an opposite opinion on? Like, everyone likes this, but you don't.
Final Fantasy VIII was the one that got me started. I got so much hate mail over that. Yeah, that was it.
8 and 12.
Opposites. Yeah, that was the opposite, where that was the only one I liked and everyone else hated it. That was it. That was really the big ones, yeah.
That was the shortest question ever.
No, okay, well, 8 I actually got death threats over. No, I've probably told this 100 times, but I remember this death threat because they were like, it was really creative actually. It said, Spoony, you suck. I hope you die getting hit by a truck full of cancer. That's why I remember it. And I was like, first I was like, fuck you. Then I tried to picture it. And you can't. But you really want to do it though. You're like, what does that look like? Is like, is cancer driving, or is it like a semi-truck full of... That'd be hard to do. I hadn't thought of that, like a giant star crab. That is kind of fun.
Okay, so, question 2, and this is besides me and the rest of the people in this room.
Okay.
What is the weirdest or creepiest fan you've ever approached? Like as yourself.
That I've approached or has approached me?
Yeah, has approached you either ways. Yeah, 2 hours later.
Is this being taped?
Yes.
This person is gonna see this.
It's gonna be funny.
Okay, there's 2. She's gonna see this. Okay, without getting into specifics, she followed me around everywhere. She was like totally in love with me, like you know, and would say like really creepy things. Like she was trying to like be flattering, but okay. Example. Somebody complimented my shirt. Like I was wearing a green shirt, and they're like, somebody said, "You always have the best T-shirts." They're like, "I wear these funny logo tees," and I was like, "Well, green's my color." And she's up in the front row, and she's like, "Every color's your color." And I'm like,
Was she at least hot? I'm sorry then.
I would have been, even if it was a really, really hot chick, I'd have been like,
Was she a pigeon?
no. Because trust me, I've dated crazy chicks. It don't matter how hot they are, they will kill you with an ice pick. I look for not crazy chicks.
Women are all crazy.
I know.
There's a man
Anyway, the other one was, I'm in Austria, and there's this guy, and we're doing this, like, actually here has security, in case anyone's really weird, and, like, there's usually a guy standing up, like, hurry up. There was no guy in Austria for that. So there's this guy who gets his autograph, and he stands right here, and he proceeds to stand here for 6 hours, asking questions. Now, these aren't questions like you have. You guys actually have thought out questions, like intelligent ones. At least complete sentences. This guy would ask questions that have no purpose and really no conclusion. He would ask, like, did you ever see that movie, Roadhouse? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'd go, and he'd be like, do you remember when you reviewed that Dirty Harry game? And I'd be like, I was there. And he's like, he never followed up on anything. If you remember that Chris Farley sketch where the guy was like, you remember this? That was awesome. He never even said that. He'd like cut. He just asked me if I remembered stuff. He's like, and he'd be like, are you gonna go see the Avengers? Probably. Usually people ask, like, are you gonna review it? Like, something, like, some point. And like, nothing. He'd just be like, 6 hours he did this. And I'm too nice a guy to be like, would you fuck off already? Like, some people aren't afraid to do that. Like, actually, I think Doug will do that. Like, he'll be like, moving on. Like, but like, I'm just like, right on, man. Like, keep on with your bad self. Like, I'm not like, would you go away? I can't do that. Like, I'm not gonna, I love you guys. Even the weird ones. Although, it was slightly less than most. So the second day, actually the end of the first day, I talked to the administrator. I was like, no, there's this guy from Belgium, because he told me he was from Belgium. Could we just get somebody like to kind of keep the line moving? Because actually, before he stood over here, he stood right here, like just asking shit. Like, what's the best Patrick Swayze movie you've seen? No, actually no, because he asked. I was like, what's the best Harrison Ford movie you've ever seen? And I was like, Firewall. You don't even know Firewall. Go find it. Go find it. It sucks. Anyway, I was just kind of being sarcastic to him at one point because he would ask, like, he was like, you remember that one time you reviewed something, Final Fantasy VIII? I'd be like, no. It was a blur. Although, that was it. But, although, the last thing I'll say on that is, I've had a lot of people come up and say, like, E.T. is my favorite review. I'm like, that's my worst one. It's just terrible. And what's funny about it, I don't remember making it. I was so high. And usually doing a review would take me at least a week. I did in like 8 hours. More work than I'd done in like a week. I don't know how.
You should get high more often.
I guess. Like, it must have been like friggin' Charlie Sheen. Like, now that he's like friggin' high all the time, he's doing all sorts of stuff now. He's gonna do Navy SEALs too, I bet. That would rule. But, like, I was so high, and like somehow I got like a crane shot. There's a scene where like it's an overhead shot. I don't know how I did that. Like, it was either like duct tape or like a clamp, or like, how the hell? I was so stoned. Anyway, thanks.
Thank you. Well, unfortunately, the fan you were talking about took away about 20 of my questions. So,
You remember when you did that one really bad game? That was, yeah, I remember. He's like, remember when you did that really bad game? Probably. I used to just stare at the guy. I was like, what are you? And I love Belgium. I think I do. Okay.
anyway, you may have already mentioned this before, and if you have, I am sorry. But I believe you mentioned that you were doing a live rift of the Hallmark video.
Yeah.
Do you find these training videos?
Sometimes.
Do people like send them to you, or?
Actually, you know, I'm probably gonna piss the person off if they suggested it to me, but they get. I think I found the Game Crazy one because I remember it wasn't the same video, but I saw like a Blockbuster training video, and I was like, that was really stupid. So I started looking for like training videos, and I found the Game Crazy one, and I was like, oh, this must be it. What the hell? Zelda Scott was just unbelievable. So I found a bunch of other ones. One is kind of disturbing, actually. Walmart. Walmart is very anti-union, and it was kind of like Orwellian in a sense, where like they're really anti-union, so they're like, if you see anyone organizing a union or talking about unions, you must report them to a supervisor immediately, unless the supervisor is organizing the union, in which case you go to the president. Like, I was like, it's like, you will be rewarded. If you're organizing a union, we have a Walmart gulag. And I'm like, this is trippy. I'm scared. I think I found the Game Crazy, and somebody may have suggested at some point. The Hallmark one somebody sent me, I'm certain of that. Somebody sent me another one. It's another game store that is long, long gone. I can't remember. It's not EB Games. It's what? Say it louder.
EB Games we still have.
No, it's not EB. Well, we don't have EB Games. It's not GameSpot. It's not. Not GameStop or GameSpot. Yeah. It's not. What? Funko Land. Yes. Funko Land. There's this. I'll probably end up doing it, but there's this weird one where like there's this really depressed clerk. He's like, I'm not making any sales, man. And there's like his boss comes around and he's like, you know who can help with that? The Funko Land genie. And he's like, who? And then like in a TV, this genie appears and he's like, dude, I can help you with sales. I'm Kazam, and he's like, wow, the Funko Land genie, and he's like, here's how you make a sale, brother. And like, if a genie appeared in a TV, I'd be like, I guess, yeah. So that's.
That actually gives me another question.
Okay.
Were you terrified of Pee-wee's Playhouse?
This is weird. That's a weird gap in my pop culture. I never watched it.
Okay.
There's a few things I just never. Transformers was another one I just never. It was like a Saturday morning cartoon, and I just never really watched Saturday morning. You'd be surprised on the weird stuff I've never seen. Like I've seen such obscure shit. There's mainstream stuff. I'd be like, no. Like what was another one? Like the original Battlestar. Never saw it. You'd think I would have, right? You'd think? No. I make jokes about it, like, why do they cancel it? Damn those guys.
Sorry, just sorry. I was just one. I've got a couple questions, but so you said you have more Ultima.
Yes.
Plan.
There is another.
And I was I know the Ultima thing, a huge part of your childhood. You went into a lot during Ultima 9's finale. And I was just wondering, probably what was the weirdest thing out of Ultima that really defined a weird, like really weird moments for you?
Oh, okay. Weird thing. I feel like I've been asked that before. No, yeah, Ultima was kind of, well, at the time it was mainstream, but I don't know if you consider this weird, but kind of at the same time that the original Ultimas were coming out, like, before, back in the day, before we had color. No, really, they didn't have color back then, in the 80s. It was monochrome, so a lot of you guys are young that, whippersnappers. But around the same time, there were text adventure games. You don't have those anymore. Well, sometimes people program them, but yeah, text adventure games, which were a paragraph would appear. It's like you wake up in a dark room. What do? And you're like, turn on the light switch. Or you say turn on light switch, and it'd be like, okay, you see the room. It's your bedroom, and you're like, open door. goes, the door is now open, you see your hallway, exits are north. So there'd be all sorts of adventures like that, where it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, but you had to type in the stuff. So there was a lot of those. Like my favorite ones were Suspended, Planetfall. There was a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure, which actually I didn't like very much, but it was worth playing just because it was Hitchhiker's Guide, man. Like, come on. And it actually did not, well, I guess it did follow the story of the books, but there was a lot more to it. Like, you had to find dryer lint, and then you had to find not dryer lint. Because you had to go to like a negative dimension to find what was not dryer lint. Yeah. So yeah, the text adventure games, I guess now would be really, really weird to you guys because there's no graphics, and sometimes the parsers were kind of weird. Like you'd be like, what's an example? What's something that has like two different names? Like, I don't know. Like okay, like
French fry.
yeah, okay, like this is okay, bad. But, like you order food and the guy like you order a burger and fries and you say pick up fries and he'd be like, I don't know what fries are. You'd be like, what? You have to say like chips or something like, you know, it's something like that. Or like maybe there's a tool, like you say like you see I can't think of anything.
I think I'm reminded mostly of when the nerd did his Dracula episode.
Or like, okay, like it'll be like, okay, you see a warehouse, you're in a warehouse full of goods, and you'd be like, open a crate. It'll be like, I don't know what a crate is, and it wants the word box, but you would not call it a way like maybe you wouldn't think a box was in a warehouse, you'd think crates. So like sometimes you'd be struggling over some really obvious puzzle when all you had to say was box. So that was a text adventure.
And really quick second question. I heard you talking about this earlier, and you've talked about the PC gaming and everything, and I just and you've talked about PC gaming, and I want to know what sort of MMOs. What sort of ideas for MMOs, like, you think is, like, what's good and what's really...
Are you asking what my favorite MMOs are, or the favorite concepts?
I would think a little bit of both.
I usually don't like to go mainstream, but World of Warcraft is kind of number one for a reason.
Yeah, it's mine too. I do read, and like you do, I do read the flavor text for requests.
Yeah, it's good for a reason. I like Terra, although I haven't had time to play it as much as I like to. It actually kind of follows up on a really bad game that the concept I liked was it was kind of an MMO shooter called Tabula Rasa, which again was made by Richard Garriott. It wasn't very good, but it was a new concept where like it was first person and you shot things and like there's obvious lag issues which they never fixed. But Terra does it really well. So Tabula Rasa didn't do that. I like the concept at least, that's why I like Terra. How does she do that with her voice? Anyway,
I think it involves helium and a chipmunk.
It's actually a computer voice.
She's not human.
No.
Got it. Damn. I gotta move on, but what? I'm sorry, what?
I'm not kidding when I say she's not human.
Oh, really? She's a
These
computer.
are robots.
Okay. Other ones I've liked. I like the concept of, what's the game where you're like space truckers and you make a lot of money and you ship things back and forth? Eve. I like the idea of Eve. Game's terrible.
It's spreadsheets.
It's spreadsheets, yeah. But I like the idea. So that's kind of the gamut. The game I like, the hybrid I like, and the concept I like. I did a kick the ass in that question. Yeah.
What was your favorite crossover review?
This is going to be cheating with the Warrior crossovers. That's not one, but it's four. Just because those are so friggin' crazy, and like we got everybody in on that, and just like everyone was throwing ideas up. We should do a silent film universe, and everyone should dress up as Dr. Insano and just slap each other like sissies, and that was about it. Well, actually, no, if I'm cheating, I would say the latest That Guy movie, To Boldly Flee, which I think is coming out next week. Now, I'm not pushing the company line because I'm not with the company anymore. But it was some of the most fun. It's a full-fledged. It's even more than a movie. It's like 3.5 hours long, which is why we're releasing it as an 8-part series. We actually halfway through we're like, this isn't gonna fit. This is gonna be like 4 hours long, and so people were like, we should do a series, like a mini series. So and they were like, yeah, that's cool. But in terms of like crossovers, if you're counting the movie as a crossover, I've always had fun shooting the movies. They were really hard, but I loved it.
Next question. Regarding Dr. Insano, just the whole thing about like sometimes he's you, sometimes he's not, sometimes he's a clone. So I guess this was just sort of played up for laughs, or
no, I do that on purpose. Okay, there's a actually it's I forget what it's called. It's the origin story of the Joker. It's not the Killing Joke, is it? It is the Killing Joke? Where they tell like 3 different, it's kind of like, actually they do it in The Dark Knight where the Joker's like, you wanna know how I got these scars? They actually, yeah, so the Joker always tells a different, how I got these scars, like I put a razor, you know. The Joker actually tells like 3 different origins, or they tell them, and so like Batman eventually goes like, who are you? And he's like I've heard so many stories, he's like, if you're gonna have an origin story, I prefer it to be multiple choice. So that's kind of the thing with Dr. Insano, is I make his origin story multiple choice because of hyper time. So I've always said every Dr. Insano cosplayer is Dr. Insano, just from a different dimensions.
Science models!
Exactly, so. Okay, that's the question. Okay, let's do one question, like everyone's got 2. I want to really get through the line as fast as possible, and I've already killed 5 minutes.
Hey, I actually was gonna ask you about Canoa Show, but since you already...
Really?
Yeah, I was. Anyways, how do you feel about the Toho Project series?
You have to give me an example.
They're top-down shooters, like Galaga, but on speed and acid.
I probably would never play them because I've always been really bad at them. I've even was like Life Force. If you ever played that one, I mean, I like it, but I can't play it. Like, although like the later Galaga games, I actually got one, and I couldn't beat like not even the first level. Like the first 3 minutes of the first level, I can't do it. I'm just not that good. My twitch reflexes weren't that good when I was 12, so you can imagine how bad they are now. Again, I keep saying I'm old. I'm not that old, but I feel old. Anyway, thanks. That's how I feel. They're really hard. Yeah.
What do you think of the Mass Effect 3 engine?
Sit down. I'll answer you, but sit down. I really liked it because I honest to God, thought the indoctrination thing was the real ending. You remember the theory?
Yeah.
I before I knew there was an indoctrination theory, I thought.
I never played it.
Earmuffs. Okay, before there was even an official indoctrination theory, I picked it out. It's not going to help. I'll try to be as evasive as possible. There is a theory, and before I knew there was a theory, there are clues through the game that clearly indicate that's the ending. So when I saw the ending, I was like, oh, there's going to be Mass Effect 4. It's going to follow up on this. No. So everyone was like, this ending sucks. It's ambiguous. We don't like there's no closure. I was like, of course there's no closure, because if you were smart, you'd have figured this out by now. So I was like, everyone's dumb. You don't know the ending. You haven't figured it out. Idiots. Turns out, it was stupid. Because when they released the DLC, it was like, to make it clear, our ending really was this bad. We're BioWare, F you. And the biggest FU was, the 4th ending, which everyone with a brain asked, what if you just reject the choices that are given to you? Again, not spoiler, don't worry. What if you just reject the choices that are given to you? Like, why don't you just shoot? And so they're like, okay, assholes, you shoot and you lose. And you're like, it's like, No, you can almost see like the design team like, oh, you think so smart. And I was so pissed off at that, because the whole theme of the game is teamwork, cooperation, we can overcome if we believe in each other and work together and put aside our differences. And no, that's bullshit.
I mean, you solved the same problem on Ranok.
Yeah.
So why can't everyone learn to speak?
Yeah, and like the guy is like, this like the gotcha was like, that'll never happen.
It just happened.
I'm like, 10 minutes ago, Shepard, you fool! Thank you. It just happened, and the Shepard's like, what? I have to do what? Okay. I just didn't get it, and like, okay, and that's, seriously, the Ultima 9 thing was kind of my recanting of that, because it's very Mass Effect in its feel, with the 3 different colors, because in many ways I consider the ending to Mass Effect 3 in hindsight to be nearly as big a betrayal to the fan base as Ultima 9 was. Because it's pretty bad. Like, in many ways, it is a slap in the face. In fact, I would say the 4th ending is as virtual a slap in the face as you can get. Because it's like, oh, you want to work together and see if you can overcome the impossible odds? Because you can't. And you're like, yeah, we can. I got 100% readiness. Like, the entire galaxy is united against these dudes.
Then why didn't you make me collect all these?
Why bother? Like, why did we do this? What the hell? What in the righteous hell did we do this for? Yeah. But the thing is, they were like, and fans were right. Like, we didn't see anything follow up. We didn't see what happened with the Genophage. We didn't see what happened with any of this shit. And I'm like, wait for Mass Effect 4. The indoctrination. That's the theory. It's right. No, it wasn't. And it was like, we went through all this crap. I united the entire galaxy. I thought there was going to be some special thing for 100%. There's not. Well, actually, there is. You know the thing at the end, the thing. I was like, you're not kidding. You don't know anything. She's like, I'm being as indirect as possible. Yeah, like, in fact, that kind of, again, it confirmed what I already knew, but it didn't. Thanks. I just spent all the time. I was like, we gotta move faster. 10-minute tangent.
All right. So, as some of us know, you've left that guy with the glasses, sadly. But needless to say, you're still awesome, and we're still your fans. What kind of more awesome and possibly new projects can we see from the almighty Spoony?
You're gonna see Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, probably in the same video. Although every time I say that, I turn it into a 4-parter. You're going to see a lot more riff tracks from me. Actually, I'm probably going to do like an official one of the stuff I'm going to do here, so you're going to be the first to see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the Fist of the North Star live action movie. No, I saw that. No, I don't think there is on the live action. I hated Fist of the North Star, but I do appreciate the concept of a guy who can punch a motherfucker so hard their head explodes. And that happens a lot. And then there's a guy with like laser fingernails. Let me think of one more. Apparently there's a lot more games where D&D players go insane and kill people. There's like 2 more that people sent me that I haven't seen, and so I'll do them. Apparently there was a real freak show going on back then. Actually, there's one that's very recent. There's one called The Wild Hunt. I haven't seen that one yet, but I've heard it's really weird. Like, so I'm in. Those are the things on the stack. I did not spoil anything. Get out! She has given me these "I'ma kill you" looks. Really?
It's not the spoiling part of it. It's like me dreading playing it.
Yeah, I had that same thing.
But I'm just like,
Before I even started playing, I was hearing stuff about the ending being bad, but actually, it kind of indicated to me I was probably really gonna like it. And when I saw it, I did. I was like, "This is gonna be awesome." But yeah, there was this feeling like everything's really, really good up to that point, and I'm like,
that's what I heard. The game's like good, and then the last 20 minutes like.
yeah.
Like, this Scar Child shows up.
No, say nothing. You're killing her. Okay, thanks for your question. Pirate Girl.
Are you going to do any more FMV games?
there aren't that many more. Somebody keeps suggesting the game, I think it's called Harvester. There's not many more though. The big ones that I covered, really Origin did the main ones, and there's stuff like Mega Race, the Daedalus Encounter, Iron Helix, but they're just kind of dull. And there's really not that much FMV to them. There's like Tia Carrera running around a spaceship, shooting at invisible robots for 5 minutes. If I can think of them, I will. Actually, there's Gabriel Knight, which is probably the second example of the only ones that were good.
Oh yeah, that's the one you covered on live stream, wasn't it?
Yeah. But if I can think of them, yeah, I'll try. But yeah, Phantasmagoria 2 was just a great riff tracks because it's actually a game I really like because it starts off really mundane and then it just gets nuts, which I like. The first Phantasmagoria is one of those games where it's boring for like 4 hours and then it just goes batshit. But it's like 10 minutes of batshit. But those 10 minutes are so freaking cool. Don goes crazy. He wears this old woman's scalp as a hat. He's like, no, he's like,
Something about tomato sauce.
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna have some pizza. And then there's like, he's like, a woman's body is a wonderful thing, but the head is useless. Ah! That's what he does. Okay, so yeah.
What song would you love to hear?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, can I do something else really quick? Please.
I'll do you.
No. Well, you get up here. I'll finish. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna finish with Dr. Insano. The rest of you guys, I'm sorry, because I gotta go in like 3 minutes. So.
What song would you love to hear Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone sing in a duet?
Sylvester Stallone
and Schwarzenegger in a duet.
Ace of Spades. If you like to gamble, the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. It is for fools if that's the way I like it. Anyway, that's a stretch. I never asked that one.
Doug said time of your life.
Are you gonna do any more of the like Nightmare series, or are you done?
Here's the story. I really was going to, but there's like 12 different tapes. They were like you could play a different tape all the time and play them. The only problem is none of them have the gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper was the best part. Like he's so friggin' funny. The other ones are just kind of There's like a zombie whose big thing is he goes, "Thrill me, baby." I think he's actually the same guy, but he doesn't do the gatekeeper stuff, and you just really want to see the gatekeeper. And in fact, they recast the gatekeeper with a guy who's not nearly as good, because he just says black hoe. Like it's black hoe. The only other good one is there's this character named Anne Train, who starts off as this really mundane, submissive French chick. She's like, oh bonjour, I'm so happy you are playing my game. And she's like, I will be interrupting you periodically, so be careful. And I'm like, So like, I'm watching the video, and all of a sudden, like 1,000 decibels snap through the speakers, a whip crack. Like it goes down, wham! And like, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! And she's doing this dominatrix thing, she's like, stop! And I'm like, Jesus Christ, and she's like, shut up, pig! She's like, you are my dog now! And she does this whole dominatrix thing on you, and you're like, and every time she does that whip crack, it just breaks your spine. Because you're like, it feels like you're getting hit across the ass. Like, it is that free, and the thing is, it's so sharp and sudden, and you're so because like the music is very, very low. Okay, I gotta cut it off there. The bad guy over there, that guy is making.
I will destruct science!
Ask me the question, I'll yell it on the way out. Hurry!
Go, ask it!
Ask it!
I put on the spot, I forgot it! What has science done?
You shut up! Go! Oh, wait, before I go, you might not get this. Yes! 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 Yes!